Hello everybody, my name's Claire Plassick. I am one of the Child and Family Health Nurses from the Illawarra-Shoalhaven Local Health District. Illawarra-Shoalhaven Child and Family Health would like to acknowledge that the land we meet on today has cultural and spiritual significance for all our First Nations people. We acknowledge the challenges faced by our First Nations people and recognise the significance in supporting and building resilience in overcoming the events of the past. Child and Family Health staff work alongside our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander families to reach our goal of achieving better health outcomes for our families, communities and future generations. Welcome to the A.B.C. Connect With Me, Help Your Child Thrive from Pregnancy to 5 program, which is all about increasing your knowledge and understanding of the importance and the impact of the first 2,000 days of life and what we can all do to support children's health, development and well-being for life. An important note before we begin. The content that will be discussed and the information shared with you may prompt you to reflect on your own childhood experiences, the way you were parented, or the way you are parenting your own children. We are sharing here some helpful resources and support helplines. It's important to understand that this information is based on population and public health research and data. It is not individual clinical advice. We will talk about the who, what, when, why and how of the first 2,000 days of life. That is, who are we talking about when we say the first 2,000 days? What is the New South Wales Health First 2,000 Days framework and what is it all about? When is the time in a child's life that is crucial for development? Why this period is so critical for lifelong health and well-being? And how. We aim to introduce you to the key messages about what happens in the antenatal period and how experiences in early childhood impact on brain development. It's the new A.B.C. Throughout the program, there will be some key messages about how to incorporate all this knowledge into your home life and everyday parenting when you are connecting and caring for your little ones, and how you can help your child thrive from pregnancy to 5. Did you know there are only 2,000 days from when a baby is conceived to when they are ready for their first day of kindy and ready to start school? 2,000 days may seem like a long time, but the science and the evidence tells us that the first 2,000 days of life is a critical time in a child's life in terms of their learning, as well as their physical, social and emotional growth and development. These first 2,000 days of life, the first 5 years, are the formative years to lifelong health, including mental health and the prevention of chronic diseases later in life. What happens in these first 2,000 days before a child starts school has been shown to have a huge impact throughout the rest of their lives. The First 2,000 Days Framework is a New South Wales Health strategic policy document. It explains the importance of the first 2,000 days in a child's life, the time from conception to the age of 5, and what action people within the New South Wales health system need to take to ensure that all children have the best possible start in life. The framework sits within the New South Wales Whole of Government Brighter Beginnings initiative that aims to improve the lives and experiences of parents and families in the first 2,000 days of their child's life. More importantly though, the framework highlights the need for everyone in our community to take responsibility in understanding and promoting the importance of a child's first 5 years to ensure that all children have the best possible start in life. The first 2,000 days of life is a critical time for a child's learning and cognitive development, as well as their physical, social and emotional growth and development. This includes their mental health. Many people don't even realise that infants actually have their own mental health, and it all starts at conception. What happens to your little one in these first days before they head off to school has been shown to have an impact throughout life. Let's think about that. Those first 2,000 days of life have a big impact on the next 30,000 days of life. Why is this important, and why do the first 2,000 days of life matter? Because 90% of a child's brain development happens before the age of 5, and our brains develop connections faster in the first 5 years of life than at any other time in our lives. This is the time when the foundation for all future learning, health and behaviour for the rest of our lives is being laid down. This includes our mental health as well. Research shows that experiences during these early years of life have deep and long-lasting effects, predicting outcomes like success at school and in finding a job, lifelong health and well-being, as well as learning and the ability to form healthy relationships with others. Despite all this evidence, parents have limited awareness about this, and there is little knowledge of this amongst our community. Our goal is that every child starts primary school equipped with all the skills they'll need to help them to continue learning and for every child to reach their full potential. Alarmingly though, we know that 1 in 5, that's 22% of children in New South Wales and 42% of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children in New South Wales will start school with a concern related to their learning, physical, social or emotional development. These statistics simply aren't okay, and together we can change and make a difference. The things we do, as in us parents, caregivers, healthcare workers and the whole community, what we do early in life and our actions in the first 2,000 days of a child's life will impact their development and future health and well-being. Working together to help everyone better understand the impact of the first 2,000 days of life can help improve long-term health outcomes for everyone, and that's why the first 2,000 days of every child's life is everyone's responsibility. So what is the new A.B.C? We'll go through and touch on some of the evidence under the A, B and C. A for antenatal, B for brain development, C for childhood experiences. Let's start where it all begins, in pregnancy, during the antenatal period. From conception and during pregnancy, a mother's physical and mental health and well-being, as well as the lifestyle of the family, impacts on the future child's health, development and well-being for life. Essentially, what is happening is that during pregnancy, a baby's health is being set for the rest of their life, and the physical health of a mother impacting on the physical health and development of her baby is well understood. Alarmingly though, in Australia, over the past 20 years, there's been a 50% increase in women being overweight or obese in their pregnancy, often leading to a diagnosis of gestational diabetes or diabetes in pregnancy, leading to impaired glucose tolerance for the future child, predisposing those children to an increased risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes in childhood, adolescence and into adulthood. What happens in pregnancy impacts on our baby's health throughout the rest of their lives. We also have emerging evidence linking the impact of the psychosocial health and lifestyle factors of both the mother and the family from conception to having a lasting impact on a child's future health, development and well-being. One of those factors is smoking. Smoking during pregnancy lowers the amount of oxygen available to a growing baby. Smoking increases baby's heart rate, the risk of miscarriage and stillbirth, the risk that a baby will be born early, born too small and not weighing very much, and increases the risk of birth defects. Smoking also increases the risk of sudden, unexpected death in infancy, what we know as SUDI. And smoking in pregnancy has also been linked to concentration and behavioural issues later in childhood.
Can you hear your baby's heartbeat? How are you feeling today?
Yeah, pretty good. A bit anxious. I could really do with a smoke. If I had one, do you really think it would hurt my baby? I smoked during my last pregnancy and my son is okay.
Well, what happens when you have a cigarette is that your baby doesn't get a good supply of oxygen. It's like making your baby breathe through a straw. This can affect the placenta, which is the baby's lifeline. Some mothers who smoke may also miscarry or go into labour early. Some have babies who are very small and sickly. You may also be surprised to hear that smoking during pregnancy can affect your baby's brain when they're older. They may find it hard to learn and concentrate at school, and may be more challenging and difficult to manage.
Really? I didn't know that. But I heard that if I quit, it will be stressful on the baby.
You may feel calmer when smoking as you're no longer craving the nicotine, but the results inside your body are quite the opposite. Smoking blocks your blood flow, creating stress for you and your baby. So your baby won't be stressed if you stop smoking.
You're right. I did feel much healthier when I didn't smoke. I really don't want to be a smoker. I've always been thinking about how much money I can save if I didn't smoke. There are so many things I could buy for my baby and me. I read somewhere it's about $7,000 a year I could save.
You could do so much with that money. Quitting can be tough at times, but very rewarding in the long run. Seriously, it really is the best thing you could do for you and your family. Do you want support to stop smoking? Call the Quit line. Download the Quit for You, Quit for Two app, or talk to your health professional.
Stopping smoking is one of the best things a mum and her partner can do to protect the health of their baby through pregnancy and beyond. Another factor affecting child health, development and well-being is drinking alcohol during pregnancy. We know that alcohol exposure during pregnancy can affect the developing baby and impact babies' facial features, growth, coordination and motor skill development, has been linked to hyperactivity and behaviour problems in childhood, and impacts parts of baby's brain structure and function that affects their learning, attention and memory. Despite this evidence, 1 in 2 women report consuming alcohol during their pregnancy, with 1 in 4 women continuing to drink after they are aware they are pregnant. Tragically, we know that fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, or FASD, is the single largest cause of developmental disability in the Western world. It is more significant than autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome and Tourette syndrome combined, and this is 100% preventable. Any alcohol that mum drinks, baby drinks too. There is no part of a mum's body that protects babies from alcohol. Alcohol can cause lifelong harm to your baby. If you are pregnant, planning a pregnancy or breastfeeding, you should not drink alcohol. Pregnancy itself can have an impact on the mental health of both mums and dads. We know that 1 in 10 mothers during pregnancy and 1 in 7 mums after the birth of her baby will experience anxiety and/or depression. There's also an impact on dads, with 1 in 20 during the pregnancy and up to 1 in 10 dads will struggle with depression following the birth of their baby. Stressful life events that happen during pregnancy can cause an increase in both mums and dads' stress levels and increase anxiety and depression. Sometimes it's hard to realise, recognise or make sense of what's happening, and if left untreated or there is a lack of support during pregnancy, this can impact on the connection and attachment relationship between a mother and her baby, as well as the relationships within the family, and ultimately impact on an infant's mental health. When we support families, particularly if a parent suffers from mental illness such as anxiety or depression, we are helping to promote healthy and responsive, nurturing and positive relationships between a parent and their child, and this will ultimately impact the mental health of infants and other children in a positive way. The evidence and the research is clear. A mother's health and the lifestyle of the family has an impact on a child's health, development and well-being for life. This includes supporting the development of baby's mental health as well. During pregnancy, there are some things parents can do each day to support their connection with their baby, as well as support baby's mental health. Taking small moments to ask, what aspirations do I have for my baby? What are my hopes and dreams for my baby? Other things include thinking about, is my baby a boy or a girl? How much will they weigh and how long will they be? Who will my baby look like? What will their hair colour be? Their eye colour? And have you got a name for your baby? Other ways to connect to your baby during pregnancy include reading books to baby, playing music and noticing baby's movement patterns. This helps parents in understanding that their baby is its own unique little person with their own little personality and temperament. Take some small moments each day to feel calm and joy. This helps to support baby's developing body, brain, as well as their own mental health. Moving on now to B for brain development. As we've heard, 90% of a child's brain development occurs in the first 5 years, and it all starts at conception. In the last 5 weeks of pregnancy, baby's brain grows 1/3 of its weight. Research shows very important development, particularly brain development, happens in the last few weeks of pregnancy that impacts on future brain and learning development. So if a pregnancy is progressing normally without any issues, aiming to give birth at 40 weeks is the best outcome for baby's brain growth and development, as well as it decreases the risk of a child having future learning difficulties when they are ready to start school. That's why every week of pregnancy counts. On to the developing brain. This image of the night sky is like neurons, the brain messengers or information messengers in a baby's brain at birth. These neurons are like stars in the night sky in our brains at birth, all separate and not connected. At birth, a baby's neural or brain connections are relatively few, around 50 trillion, and these are all determined by genes from parents. As children grow, the experiences and the stimulation they receive help these neurons to connect, to form neural pathways. These neural pathways or connections increase at a very rapid pace. The more we use a pathway, the stronger it becomes. This is where our children need the stimulation to form those neural pathways for vision, hearing, communication, learning, cognitive and emotional development. For example, lots of talking and smiling with your baby and your child, especially taking turns, repeating the sounds your baby makes, creates strong neural pathways, and repeating these interactions over and over and over again is how you can support healthy brain development for your child. The more we play, engage, interact, and have meaningful moments with babies during pregnancy and from birth is how we can promote positive experiences and connections with our children, and we can support those neural pathways to go stronger and more permanent. Pathways that are used less fade away through a normal process called pruning. The foundation of the developing brain and positive mental health is built by positive interactions, connections, and experiences between young children and their parents and caregivers. One way this foundation is built is through what we call serve and return interactions. Think of it like a tennis match between a child and their parent or caregiver. Instead of hitting a ball back and forth, they are communicating with each other through eye contact, touching, singing, playing, reading, and talking together. Doing these interactions early and often, over and over again during the first few years of a child's life helps to create the bricks and the strong neural pathways that build the foundation for all future learning and development. The good news is that these interactions happen as part of everyday life moments when caring for a child, such as during feeding times, nappy changes, sharing a meal together, going for a walk, bike riding, cooking, doing the groceries, going to the park and playing together. Infants and children are hardwired for connection, and by taking small moments during the day to notice and engage in serve and return interactions, parents and caregivers are building and supporting the foundation for their children's lifelong learning, behaviour and health, as well as building their coping skills and resilience. Secure, predictable, consistent and loving responses and interactions with their parents and caregivers provides children with a foundation for all future behaviour and development, as well as the foundation for promoting positive mental health. It's what they need to thrive.
The key to forming strong brain architecture is what's known as serve and return interaction with adults. In this developmental game, new neural connections form in the brain as young children instinctively serve through babbling, facial expressions, and gestures. And adults return the serve, responding in a very directed, meaningful way. It starts very early in life when a baby coos and the adult interacts and directs the baby's attention to a face or hand. This interaction forms the foundation of brain architecture upon which all future development will be built. It helps create neural connections between all the different areas of the brain, building the emotional and cognitive skills children need in life. For example, here's how it works for literacy and language skills. When the baby sees an object, the adult says its name. This makes connections in the baby's brain between particular sounds and their corresponding objects. Later, adults show young children that those objects and sounds can also be represented by marks on a page. With continued support from adults, children then learn how to decipher writing and eventually to write themselves. Each stage builds on what came before. Ensuring that children have adult caregivers who consistently engage in serve and return interaction, beginning in infancy, builds a foundation in the brain for all the learning, behavior, and health that follow.
As seen in these images, And what we're aiming for in the brain development for our children is a healthy, bright and well lit up brain that has been built through loving, positive and nurturing serve and return interactions. When a child feels safe, secure and supported, they become better at managing their own emotions. They feel safe. They build confidence and trust to go out and explore their world, and we are helping to build empathy and resilience. They even learn how to be in healthy relationships with their parents, family, friends, their future partners, and when they have their own children one day. Positive interactions early and often in these first 2,000 days of life is what kids need to build healthy brains. Brains are developed through connections with people, not through a screen. On to C for childhood experiences. As we've mentioned previously, a child's brain grows and changes rapidly and is shaped by their experiences. These changes shape the way a child will learn to cope with life. Learning how to cope with life's challenges and hardships is an important part of healthy child development. When we are stressed or feel threatened, our bodies fly into action. Our heart rate increases, our blood pressure increases, and stress hormones are released, and our bodies go into overdrive. This is known as the fight or flight response. When this happens to a young child who is crying or having a meltdown, within an environment of having a supporting, loving, and nurturing relationship with adults, this response is normal, mild, and temporary. The child develops coping skills and increased resilience. If they are tolerable and short, these stresses in the body can even promote growth. The opposite of this is what we call toxic stress. This is the type of stress that disrupts health and development and increases the risk of lifelong poorer health. When a child experiences toxic stress and the stress response is extreme or activated for prolonged periods and there is no protective adult to nurture and support that child through, the result can lead to damaged, weakened systems. This can affect the growing brain and can have lifelong negative effects. Exposure to toxic stress such as abuse, neglect, household troubles and challenges such as domestic and family violence, untreated mental illness in parents, drug or alcohol misuse, unresolved trauma in the caregiver, financial and housing issues can make it harder for some parents to provide children with the nurturing and the responsive care they need. High doses of toxic stress can not only disrupt healthy brain development, but also completely change a child's immune system, their hormonal system, and how their DNA is read and arranged. Anyone caring for a child or supporting families with children can promote connection through positive interactions to support their child's social, emotional, language, cognitive and motor development. This can be done by showing them love through talking, singing, reading and playing together. If we provide loving, supportive and nurturing experiences for children in the first 2,000 days of life, we are guiding them to be nurturing role models for the next generation. So what does this look like in everyday parenting and caring for babies and children? Some examples include connection through talking, singing, reading and playing together. Looking at your face and hearing your voice is play for your baby, especially if you're smiling. Reading, sharing stories, talking and singing every day helps your child's brain development in many ways. Start reading to your baby early. Starting during pregnancy is great. Reading and storytelling helps babies learn about sounds, words and language. Read slowly to babies. Point out words and pictures. Change the tone of your voice as you read. Babies like books with rhyme, rhythm and repetition. Preschoolers like alphabet, shape and counting books, funny stories and quirky characters. Let's talk about play. Play is central to a child's learning and development. When children play, it gives them different experiences and opportunities to learn. Play also helps children to build confidence, feel loved, happy and safe, understand more about how the world works, develop social, language and communication skills, learn about caring for others as well as the environment, and develop their physical skills. Children have a full-time occupation. It's called play. Let them be occupied by it. As babies grow, they become more interested in the world around them all the time. Play is the main way that babies develop, learn and explore their world. They also learn to solve simple problems and they start being able to understand their own and other people's feelings. Some play ideas and activities to try with your little one include music, singing and dancing. Peekaboo is great for your baby's social and emotional development. Toys and objects with different textures, sizes, shapes, colours, lights and sounds. Tummy time is also important. It's important for children to have lots of different experiences and opportunities to learn through play. Play also boosts resilience and supports a child's sense of self and self-esteem for life. Giving just 5 minutes of your time each day can strengthen your child's resilience and self-esteem and build your positive relationship and connection with them. Play gives kids lots of sensory experiences as well as opportunities to learn, think and problem solve. It's experiences and interactions with parents, caregivers and others that build connections in the brain, not through a screen. That's why play is literally like fireworks going off in their brains. So how do we know if our children are growing and developing well? You have your child's personal health record or blue book that was given to you soon after the birth of your baby. It is a place to record your child's health, growth, development and immunisations. The Blue Book recommends parents and caregivers take their child to a child and family health nurse or their doctor for routine health and development checks from birth until around 4 years of age. The health and development checks help both parents and health professionals track the development of a child and also find out about any concerns that a child may have in terms of how they play, learn, talk or move. You can track your child's development using the Learn the Signs Act Early, a milestone monitoring tool that is in your child's Blue Book, and share any concerns about your child's progress with a child and family health nurse or your doctor. The Learn the Signs Act Early parent brochures are also available to download in 18 community languages. Milestones matter. Track your child's development in their Blue Book. For more information on child development, you can download the free Love, Talk, Sing, Read, Play app or the Deadly Tots app for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander families. Both apps are available from the App Store or Google Play. Love, Talk, Sing, Read, Play is also available in other languages. Another important aspect in the first 2,000 days is high quality early childhood education, giving children the best start in life. Engagement in high quality early childhood education provides important opportunities for children to learn and develop. High quality early childhood education helps to support children in making friends, develop independence and learn new routines. It also supports their transition to school. Children who are given the opportunity to participate in quality early childhood education programs are more likely to arrive at school equipped with the social, cognitive and emotional skills they need to help them to continue learning. The benefits extend well beyond primary school. Higher levels of educational success, employment and social skills have all been linked to moderate levels of participation in quality early childhood education. Your child's development at just 22 months can predict their education outcomes at 26 years. That's why the time for pregnancy until your child starts school has a lifelong effect. These first 2,000 days of life shapes their future. Make them count. Illawarra Shorehaven Local Health District Child and Family Health Services offer a free service including Blue Book checks, parent groups, breastfeeding and infant feeding support, sleep and settling support, starting family foods, family care centres, parenting support, Binji and Bulrai service and allied health services. For more information, visit our webpage and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.